press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
We have done with the theory part of physical optics. So from today's session, hardly we'll see how many sessions we are going to get. We have sent already a PDF file for you. So where numericals from these both interference and complete this physical optics problems, everything has been given for you. I hope it is there with you. So we are going to start doing the numericals from this part. So before going for this, right, so in all the entire chapter what are all we have discussed with, right, from various theories of light where we have started with, and from there theoretical questions you are going to get with. I have not included those questions over there from this as theory questions as level 1 you are going to get. Soon after when you are going to come to the college, right, I am going to give those worksheets for you. So that theory questions, anything if it is there from this chapter, as a separate assignment I am going to give it, assignment sheet I will give it. Only the numerical I have included from these two. So in these two levels we are having level 2, firstly level 2 of classwork we are having, around some 30 problems or so we are having here, right. And again the same model problems homework sheet I have given. I will do the classwork problems over here in the this class I will discuss there. Homework is your responsibility. The same model problems you should be able to solve them. Soon after going through this class over there, you have to work out by your own with all those numericals there. Even I think there are also even 30 numericals I have included there. I think so. 30 numericals of homework will be there. You have to do with that same model problems which we have done. Okay, whichever it is not getting or something, you just keep marked and we'll see during the offline session. And the next level of questions we are having, from that I am going to discuss. I don't think so there we are having homework there, only the classwork sheets I have given. So that part let me discuss over there. I even in that also some problems which you have to do it. I'll just let you know which you have to do them. I'll just mark you to work out on those problems. So now coming back to the problems which we have started with are the relations which we have started with straight away from interference. We are going to get all the numerical over there. So in this I told you and I have discussed about these competitive points over there along with the theory, right? Intensity relations, amplitude and intensity relations, how they are depending, and how to find out for maximum minimum intensities. That is the most expected question in any kind of competitive examinations. More of problems are there on that, where we have to give where you need to work out more on that. I will just solve a few of that model. And then earlier intensity related to the phase of angle. So phase, if certain light rays from two sources, right, coherent sources, when they are going to be superposed with certain phase difference, if they are going to be formed on the screen, how the intensity pattern, for that some relations I have given. We'll see, we'll look back or we'll just write back those equations once again. Intensity concept, superposition of two waves, for that equations whatever you are having, constructive and destructive interference, phase difference and path difference in terms of both, which you have to learn with. And soon after that we are having Young's double slit experiment. On that so many points I have given. So like straight away starting with the fringe width, expression for fringe width, and how these dark or bright fringes that are going to be formed on the screen, nth bright or nth dark fringe, if it is going to be formed on the screen from the central fringe rate, what are the distances, what are the conditions for that. So and so applications also I have mentioned or I have discussed there. Okay, so that applications, everything you have to include in this. So I am not going to recall again the formulas there, straight away I will go with the numericals. We will start with the first question, go through with the first question. Okay, just go through the question displayed here. The displacements of two interfering light waves are y1 equals to 4 sin omega t and y2 equals to 3 cos omega t. Then the amplitude of the resultant wave is, how much it is they are asking. What is the amplitude of the resultant wave? So just before going for that, I will say like y1 equals to some a sin omega t and y2 equals to b sin omega t plus phi. This kind of equations when they are going to be, I may not taken cos, but I have taken there like while deriving sin omega t plus phi. Phi, if I take it as pi by 2, then it will become what? Sin 90 plus theta, cos theta it will become. So that's what they have given. So if this is the two waves which are going to be superposed, then the resultant wave is r equals to r. Resultant wave is y equals to y1 plus y2 we have written, and the amplitude of the resultant wave we have written it as r equals to root of a square plus b square plus 2ab into cos phi. This is the formula which we have written for what? Amplitude of the two waves which are going to be superposed, or these two waves when they are going to be superposed, resultant amplitude will be equals to root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos phi. And also for phase angle of the resultant wave also, tan phi equals to b sin theta divided by a plus b cos theta relation we have written. So here in this they are given one is a sin omega t, that is 4 sin omega t. One more is what they have given, y2 equals to 3 cos omega t they have given. So in place of b we are having 3. So comparing that we are having a equals to what? A equals to 4 centimeter and b equals to what? 3 centimeter we are having. Why? Because they are taken in CGS system, they have mentioned, that's why. And phi value is how much? This should be equals to what? 90 degrees or pi by 2 I can say. Why? Because cos of they are given. If I take sin omega t plus 9 by 2, 5 by 2, pi by 2, then only it will become what? Cos theta, right? Cos omega t will become, that's why phi value I am going to take it as what? Pi by 2 from the problem. So from this r equals to, how much it is? Root of a value is how much? Like 4 square plus 3 square plus 2 into 3 into 4 into cos pi by 2. What's the value of cos 90? 0. This value is 0. And finally, this is root of 4 square plus 3 square. How much it is? 16 plus 9. 25 under root means 5 centimeter we will get. This is the amplitude of the resultant wave. Formula also I have given. Just make a note of it. Copy that. Next. Second problem. Go through that. Light waves of wavelength lambda propagate in a medium. What is the wavelength of light? Lambda they have given. If m and n are 2 points on the wavefront and they are separated by a distance of lambda by 4, the phase difference between them will be, just a theoretical question it is. We have seen what do you mean by a phase, a wavefront. Huygens wave theory when we have come across, I mentioned about the wavefront. What is that? It is the locus of all the points which are in phase we have taken. Means what? Every point on this wavefront, right? How they are in phase. The locus of all those points which are in phase itself, we are calling it as what? Wavefront. So they are saying that distance between any 2 points on the wavefront. They are given what? M and n are 2 points on the wavefront. Let me say it is some m and this is some n. M and n are 2 points on the wavefront. They are saying that wavelength of this source is some lambda or something they have given, whatever it may be. A wavefront separated by distance of lambda by 4. This distance they have given it as what? Lambda by 4. Distance between m and n, these 2 points is what? Lambda by 4. But what they are asking to find, phase difference between them will be, between any 2 points you take, phase difference delta phi, it will be equals to how much here? 0. Why? All these are in phase. All these points are in phase. That the definition itself it mentions. Wavefront means locus of all the points which are going to be taken at an instant which are in phase from a point source. So that's why all the points, not only between m and n, between any 2 points on this wavefront, if I take, the phase difference will be equals to what? 0. Keep this point in mind. Just a theoretical question. They have given all the data to confuse you, lambda by 4 and lambda, all those values in the problem they have given only for to confuse the student, but theoretical question it is, just remember the value. Next, we'll move on to third question there. Third one. Just read that. So what they are given? The intensity ratio of waves is how much? 9:1 they have given. Intensity ratio of the waves is what? 9:1. I will take them as some I1 by I2, let it be. If they produce interference, the ratio of maximum to minimum intensity will be, what they are asking to find out? Ratio of maximum to minimum intensity. What ratio they have given ma? This is problem number 3. Third problem. I1 by I2 they have given it as how much? I1 by I2 equals to 9 by 1. They are asking to find ratio of maximum to minimum intensity. I asked you to remember with the formulas corresponding to this maximum intensity relation among the maximum intensities and intensity ratios, maximum minimum intensity and intensity ratio, and also maximum intensities and amplitudes ratio, maximum amplitudes and individual amplitudes ratio, maximum amplitudes and maximum intensity ratios. All the equations are given by the time when we have discussed with the theory part. So you have to recall those formulas which we have studied. What is the formula for maximum intensity? We have written root I1 plus root I2 whole square. I hope you have remembered this, divided by root I1 minus root I2 whole square. Straight away I have written, we have derived these equations, everything during the theory part. Why? Because intensity is directly proportional to square of amplitude, we have written, right? So taking this concept, we have obtained this relation. Maximum intensity is nothing but root of I1 plus root I2, root I1 plus root I2 whole square, and this is root I1 minus root I2 whole square. So how to write this in terms of intensities, ratios of intensities, how to write means, see. So what I am going to write is, this is root I1 by root I2, I will take common, plus 1 divided by root I1 by root I2 minus 1 whole square. Can we write like this? See, just I2 I have taken common in the, I2 I have taken out of this, what it will be? I1 by I2 it will get, I2 is remaining. Here also I2 I have taken out. This I2 and I2 they will get cancelled, that is why I have not mentioned here, no need to bother. So finally we will write like root of I1 by I2 plus 1 by root of I1 by, or it is root of I1 by I2 plus 1 divided by root of I1 by I2 minus 1 whole square. This is what the ratio of I maximum divided by I minimum mentions. They have given already I1 by I2 value is how much? 9 by 1. So if I substitute for this values, what you will get? This is root of I1 by I2 is 9 by 1 means what? Root of 9 by 1 plus 1 divided by, this is root 9 by 1 minus 1 whole square. Root 9 by 1 is how much? 3. 3 plus 1, 4. And here it is 3 minus 1, 2. So this is 4 by 2 whole square, or it will be equals to what? It will be 2 1 2 2 means 4 is to 1 you will get. I maximum by I minimum, it will be equals to how much now? 4 is to 1. The first option is the correct option here. So once again just remember this formula. Maximum to minimum intensities if they are given, straight away if you remember this, well and good, or else you have to learn this. I think I have given like I1 by I2 value, if I take it as x, right, then I maximum by I minimum, how to write means x plus 1 by x minus 1 whole square. I have sorry, x plus 1 by okay, x plus 1 by x minus 1 whole square, some values we have given there, just go through with that. If you know the shortcut of that, straight away you can solve, not even that much also to be solved there. So go with the fourth problem now, the same kind. When two coherent monochromatic light beams of intensities I and 4i are superimposed, when two coherent monochromatic light beams of, what are the intensities they are given? I and 4i are superimposed, then the ratio of maximum and minimum intensities in the resultant beam is, ratio of maximum to minimum, same problem it is. Come back to this, I will just rub this part, see here now. Tell me what they are given, instead of I1 by I2 what they are given, I1 I2 values directly they are given there, isn't it? So then I can substitute for these values here itself, right? What is I1? In this problem, I1 they have given it as how much? I1 is nothing but I, and I2 is what? 4i they have given. They are asking to find what? Maximum to minimum intensities in the resultant ratio they are asking. In place of this, substitute here. This is I1 is nothing but root I plus I2 is nothing but root 4i whole square divided by, this is I1 difference of I2, whether it is I2 minus I1 or I1 minus I2, whatever it may be, root I minus root 4i whole square. See, root I you can take common, remaining is what, tell me? In the numerator it is 1 plus root 4 is what? 2. 1 plus 2 whole square divided by, this is 1 minus 2 whole square. 2 plus 1 is what? 3. 3 square is 9. 1 minus 2 is what? Minus 1. Minus 1 whole square is what? 1. That's why I maximum by I minimum will be equals to 9 is to 1. You will get the answer here. This is the answer. I maximum by I minimum, it will be equals to how much? 9 is to 1. I hope you got the point. Same relation. See, more I am stretching even here on this maximum intensities and minimum intensities. If you go with any of the question papers, previous year's papers, if you are going to take, right, at least you can find 1 or 2 questions of that for every paper what you are going to see. So important of this kind. Maximum intensity problems are so important. Even you have to correlate with amplitude. In the coming problems we will see. Next, this is of, sorry, 4th problem earlier we have done. This is 4th completed, right? 5th one you go with that. 5th problem. In an interference experiment, the ratio of intensities of the bright and dark fringes is 16. Then the ratio of amplitudes due to these 2 slits is, ratio of the amplitudes of the these 2 waves which are going to be coming from those 2 slits, right? That's what they are asking to find out. See, what they are given, can you tell me in this? Problem is, in an interference experiment, ratio of the intensities of bright and dark fringes is, bright and dark fringes means what? Maximum and minimum intensity ratios they are given. Ratio of I maximum to I minimum, how much they are given? 16. I maximum divided by I minimum is nothing but how much they are given it as 16. Question is, ratio of the amplitudes due to these 2 slits is how much they are asking. You know, I maximum by I minimum formula just now we have written is what? I maximum by I minimum equals to, this is root I1 plus root I2 whole square divided by root I1 minus root I2 whole square. Okay, na? The 2 slits which we are going to take, right, the light which is coming from these 2, somewhere it is going to interfere on the screen, let it be. This is the slit width. One is slit width we are having, the other parameter is what? Amplitude. We have written for amplitude of the source or the light source which is coming out, right? Relation among this intensity and amplitude is like this. Intensity is directly proportional to square of amplitude. In place of intensity I can write for square of amplitude here. So that's why one is A you can take, the other one is what? B. I1 is proportional to A1 square I can write, and in place of I2 you can write what? A2 square. So then I maximum by I minimum will be equals to, see here, in place of root I1 I can write what? A1 square. Root of A1 square is what? A1. So I can write like A1 plus A2 whole square divided by A1 minus A2 whole square. But they are asking to find A1 by A2 value, na? Ratio of amplitudes they are asking. You can take out. Okay, so how to find for it now, tell me? I maximum, I minimum value how much they are given? 16. 16 equals to, see, same way, you take one of the term as common here, A2 if you take it out, remaining is A1 by A2 plus 1 divided by A1 by A2 minus 1. Straight away I will write here now, A1 by A2 plus 1 divided by A1 by A2 minus 1. Whole square is there, if I take root on both sides it will become root 16 equals to this value you are going to get. Root 16 is how much? 4. So straight away I will write simplification. 4 into A1 by A2 minus 1 equals to A1 by A2 plus 1. Cross multiply this and see what you will get here now. This is A1 by A2, you bring it to the other side, it will become what? 3A1 by A2 equals to, on the other side we are having 1 minus 4 plus 1. Sorry, minus, this minus 4 if it goes to the right hand side it will become plus 5. So then it will become what? This is plus 4, it will become 4 plus 1 what? 5. Then A1 by A2 value it will be equals to how much now? 5 by 3. What is the values are given there? 5 is to 3. Fourth option you have to take. This is problem number 5. Fifth problem. Fourth option you will get there. What is the answer of ratio of amplitudes here? 5 by 3. See, all these problems what I am discussing here now, once again in the next worksheet, that is homework worksheet which it is there you are having. Without looking back into the formula or the concept or anything, you just have to go through by yourself after practicing of all these numericals there. After going through the class, right, sit for a while, right, you just take out that sheet and you practice for those numericals there. So that is compulsory, and then go for sixth problem now. Okay, sixth one, see there what they are given. A screen is at a distance of 2 meters from a narrow slit. narrow slits that are illuminated with light, they have given wavelength. 10th minimum lies at 0.005 meters on either side of central maxima. Then distance between the slits is, just go through what they have given. First note it down all the points, like what are all they have given. First identify the given terms and what is the term they are asking to find out. So what we intended to find in that numerical, just identify there. See, they are given the screen is at a distance of 2 meters, means what? Screen is at a distance of 2 meters from the slits, means our notations which we made used, I am going to recall that once again. These two are the two slits. The distance between the two slits we have taken it as small d. Distance between slits on the screen we have taken it as capital D. Wavelength of light used is, like if I am going to say this is the source of light which is going to emit, then wavelength of light used is lambda we have taken. Lambda is what? Wavelength of light used. Okay, so for this is the center of the screen if I take. They are saying that in this problem, wavelength and the 10th minimum means nth dark fringe. Which dark fringe it is? N10 value they have given. How much it is? N value is 10 they have given, that is 10th dark fringe it is. 10th dark fringe is going to be formed. Where it is going to be formed lies at 0.005 meters on either side of central maxima. This is the central maxima if I take. This is the where this 10th minima is going to be formed. 10th minima is going to be formed at a distance of y equals to, how much it is? 0.005 meters. So what is the formula for distance of nth dark fringe from the central fringe? We have written distance of nth dark fringe. Distance of nth dark YND. Distance of nth dark fringe from the central fringe is 2n minus 1 into lambda capital D by 2D. This is what? The formula which we have written for what? Distance of nth dark fringe from the central fringe. 2n minus 1 into lambda capital D by 2D. So substitute for all the values given in this, and what they are asking to find out here. Then the distance between the two slits is small d value they are asking to find out. This was the parameter which you have to find out. Small d is how much they are asking to find. Substitute and get the value of this. So from this small d it will be equals to, small d equals to what? 2n minus 1 into lambda capital D divided by 2 into yn. So this is 2 into n value they have given it as what? 10. 2 into 10 minus 1 into wavelength value, how much they have given? Lambda. So lambda value 589 nanometer, that is 589 into 10 to the power of minus 9 into capital D value is how much? Capital D it is 2 meter. Capital D is what? 2 meter all divided by 2 into small d is y value is how much? 0.005. Just do this calculation. Finally, we will end up with the value like fifth one is fourth option they have given 24 millimeters. You will get there. Solve for this, and finally we will end up with what? 24 millimeter. This is the answer. Do that calculation further. That's all you need to find for distance. Remember this formula: distance of nth dark fringe from the central fringe. Here itself I will call, see, distance of nth bright means if they are given, for example, in any other problem, distance of nth bright fringe means n lambda capital D by small d. This is the formula to find out what? Distance of nth bright fringe from the central fringe. This is very important. Okay, and dark fringe is this is a relation. So just have a point in your mind. Next, we will go for problem number 7. Seventh problem. Now go through with that, what they are given and what they are asking to find out. Is it simple or any complication? Seventh problem is like, in Young's double slit experiment with a monochromatic light, 4000 angstrom is a wavelength they have given. Fringe width is found to be beta value is 0.4 mm they have given. When the slits are now illuminated with a light of wavelength 5000, fringe width will be, you know the expression for fringe width is what? Beta equals to lambda capital D by small d. So the parameters they are given are what? Wavelength and fringe width. Means Capital D and small d are constants here, no need to bother. So how beta and lambda are related? Beta proportional to lambda. So fringe width is how much? Beta 2 by beta 1 equals to lambda 2 divided by lambda 1, or beta 2 equals to how much? Lambda 2 divided by lambda 1 into beta 1 fringe width. So substitute for them, all you will get the value. I hope you can do this, no need of substitution again. Just take the relation and substitute for it. Lambda 2 is what? 5000 they are given, lambda 1 is what? 4000, and beta 1 is how much? 0.4 mm they are given. Substitute all the values. I hope how much you will get? 4 by 5 into 0.4. It's alright. 4 by 5 into 0.4, I think 0.32 you will get there. Option problem number 7 it is. Yeah. 0.5 mm they have given. Just take that. Calculation you do it. Next. 8th problem. Problem number 8. Just go through with that. What they are given? In Young's double slit experiment, the wavelength of light used is 6000 angstrom. Okay. If the path difference between the waves reaching a point P on the screen is 1.5 microns, then at that point what is going to be formed, they are asking. Path difference delta x, how much they are given it is? 1.5 micron means what? Into 10 power minus 6 meters is the path difference they have given. So we have two conditions there. Either it should be a bright fringe should be formed or dark fringe should be formed. For bright fringe should be formed, right, delta x equals to n lambda is the relation here. Path difference for the formation of bright fringe is what? N lambda. For this is for what? For bright fringe. For bright fringe path difference should be equals to n lambda. For dark fringe, what is the path difference? For dark fringe, just tell me what is the path difference we need to have for dark fringe. Delta x, it should be equals to 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. So they have given whatever all the values they have given, they tell me. Lambda value they have given, delta x they have given, you are supposed to find the value of n. For which number you are going to get some value of n as an integer, that you take it. If for example, if I substitute for bright fringe, if you won't get the value of n as an integer, then there might be a dark fringe formed, there won't be a bright fringe. So like that, let me substitute here for this dark fringe first of all. Delta x means 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 equals to 2n, we need to find it out. We will see if n is a perfect integer you are going to get means, then you can say directly nth that by n value, if you got some 10 or 15 like that, 15th dark fringe like that you can say. We will see minus 1 into what is the value of lambda they have given? 6000 angstroms, that is 6000 into 10 to the power of minus 10 divided by 2. So you just simplify for this, how much you will get there? 6000 in the sense 1.5, this is 4, you will get 4000, and then 2 ones 2000 you are having here. So 2n minus 1 will be equals to 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by 2000 into 10 to the power of minus 10. 2000 in 10 to the power of minus 10. If it goes numerator, it will become how much now? 10 minus 6, 4 means 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 2000. See the simplifications, we should be very fast. 2n minus 1. So 3 zeros, 2 ones, 2 5s it is. So 2n minus 1 will be equals to how much now? 5. Or 2n it will be equals to what? 6. 5 plus 1, right? So finally n value equals to how much I get? 6 by 2 is how much? 3. See, I got perfect integer here, means some number you got some value. N equals to 3. We have taken it for which one? Dark fringe. I have substituted all these for what? Dark fringe. That's why n third dark fringe is going to be formed at that point where path difference equals to this much. If you got it as some 3.5 or something like that, then you check with n lambda. You equate this value of 1.5 in 10 power minus 6 with what? N lambda, and now find the value of n. Definitely you will get an integer there. then you can say that nth bright fringe is going to be formed at that point. So like that you can confine. N equals to how much here now? See what the answer then? Third dark fringe is going to be occurred at that point. Third option it is. Third dark band occurs. That's the answer there. This for problem number 8. Eighth problem it is. Next, we'll go with the 9th problem there. Problem number 9. Just go through with that. What they are given, what's supposed to be found there. 9th one. So, intensity of central fringe in the interference pattern produced by the two identical slits is I they have given. I is what? Intensity produced at the central fringe for what? Identical sources. When one of the slits is closed, then intensity at the same point is I naught. Then the relation between I and I naught is, see, I will just write for this, two slits, this is the center of the screen. If I say at this point, they are going to form, they are going to superpose constructively, we know. If I say both are of same sources or identical sources, means both will be having the same intensity. They are given what? One of the slits is closed, then the intensity at some point is I naught, they are saying. Means, see, okay, let it be. First I have taken each one is having a source of I naught. Then what is the intensity that is going to be formed at this point? Can you tell me? 4 I naught. You know the intensity at any point related with phase angle, how it is going to be related means 4 I naught cos square 5 by 2. This relation we have studied. Means, any two waves which are going to be superposed on the screen at a given point. Okay. So, if they are having a phase difference of 5 between them, then the intensity of those resultant intensity at that point where the phase difference between the two superposing waves is 5 is given by 4 I naught cos square 5 by 2. At the center of the screen, phi value will be 0. So, this value will become how much now? 1. Then I it will be equals to what? 4 I naught. Keep this point in mind. When if these two sources are of I naught and I naught, then final intensity it should be equals to what? 4 I naught. Now question is, if one of the slit is closed there, when one of the slit is closed, then intensity at the same point is I naught. One of the slit is closed means this is not there. Then intensity whatever you are going to get here is purely because of this one. How much it is? I naught they are given, means each slit is of I naught only they are given there. So if one of the slit is completely closed, then intensity they are given it as what? I naught, means each slit is of I naught. Each slit is of intensity, how much it is? I naught. So light from each slit is I naught they are given indirectly there. So directly I can take this I naught will be equals to, earlier this is from the earlier condition we have written I it will be equals to 4 I naught. For the value of I naught it should be equals to what? I divided by 4. This is the point. I naught value it will be equals to what? I by 4 or I equals to 4 I naught, anything. Which option they are given? First option is correct here. I equals to 4 I naught is a correct option here. Okay na? So next 10th problem. I think that is theoretical one, but still some numerical is involved here, you have to do it. In case of interference, see, the maxima and minima intensities are in the ratio of 16:9. I maximum by I minimum is 16 by 9 they are given. Then maximum and minimum amplitudes will be in the ratio 9:5. Intensities of individual waves will be 4:3. So you solve for first problem, I think third or fourth problem we have done, right? I maximum by I minimum. I maximum by I minimum equals to how it is, how the values are going to be written for ratio of amplitudes or ratio of intensities, how we have written, right? In the same way you can solve for it. You check with which options are correct there, that you have to solve. That is your work to be done, 10th one. And now I ask you to go for the problem number 11. 11th problem. See, in classwork all the problems I am solving. In homework it is your responsibility to complete all the problems there. Keep this point in mind. In a double slit experiment, distance between the two slits is 0.6 and these are illuminated with light of wavelength 4800 lambda they have given. Angular width of dark fringes on the screen at a distance of 120 centimeters from the slits will be at a distance, what they are asking to find out is 120 centimeters from the slits. Okay. Angular width they are asking, right? D sin theta equals to n lambda. You are having one relation. This is path difference. It will be equals to n lambda. From this angular width, if I write for it, what they are given? At a distance of how much they are given is x value they are given. How much? Angular width of dark fringe on the screen is at a distance of 120 centimeter, means you substitute for theta, it will be equals to lambda by d. Lambda how much they are given, tell me? 4800. 4800 in 10 power minus 10 divided by angstrom they are given, and 0.6 into 10 power minus 3 it is 0.6 in 10 power minus 3. Substitute and get it. I can write this one as 6 into 10 to the power of minus 4, right? 6 ones are 6 8s, 800 you are having here. Remaining is how much? Minus 4. If it goes to numerator, it will become what? Plus 4. Minus 10 plus 4. Minus 6. Minus 6 plus 2. Minus 4. So, theta equals to 8 into 10 to the power of minus 4 radians will get there. Angular width 10 to the power of minus 4. First option you are going to get there. This is problem number 11. 11th problem it is. And now go for 12th problem then. Problem number 12. 12th one. So just go through with that. What they are given? In Young's double slit experiment, blue-green light of wavelength is 500 nanometer they are given. Slits are 1.2 nanometer apart, means distance between the slits they are given, and viewing screen is 5.4 meter away from the slits. Then what is the fringe width? That is your work which you have to do. What is the formula for fringe width? Beta equals to lambda capital D by small d. Small d is distance between the slits. They have given it as how much? Slits are 1.2 nanometer apart, means small d they have given. Wavelength lambda they have given. Capital D 5.4 meters away from the slit. Distance between the slits and the screen also they have given. Just use this relation to find the value of what? Fringe width. That is your work to be done. Calculate the value and get the answer. Go for the next problem. Problem number 13. Now see here. A double slit experiment is performed with light of wavelength 5000 nanometer. A thin film of thickness 2 micrometer and refractive index 1.5 is introduced in the path of an upper beam. Then the location of the central maximum will be. So once you recall with the concept which we have done with this, I given under the applications for competitive. So at that time I have discussed the same concept. See, generally if there is no any obstacle over there, then no doubt the light will interfere somewhere at this point, which is where exactly the bright fringe is going to be found, means at the central fringe. Why? Because equal distances they are going to travel. That's why phase difference between the two waves coming from these two slits S1 and S2 will be, phase difference will be 0, hence a central bright fringe is going to be formed. But in between, in its path, one of the path, right, upper beam, they are going to put what? There is an obstacle like a transparent medium which allows the light to pass through it. It's not air now. It is having some refractive index of n equals to, they have given it as what? 1.5 refractive index, and its thickness also they have given. Thickness how much it is? T value they have given it as 2 micrometer. Thickness is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meters. Then will the central fringe is going to be a bright fringe, means no. Now the central fringe, see the distance traveled by this wave from here to here and from here to here are not equal. See extra path, here we are going to have optical path. Extra path covered by the light because of this what? Distances traveled by, how much distance it will travel during this time of not to travel by this thickness T is not same as in air of thickness T. So that's why there will be a small path difference existing between these two waves which are going to be superposed at actual central fringe. That's why central fringe is going to be shifted. Now I told you at that time, we have discussed even the conceptually, and again once again I am not going to dig into that. So towards which side the central fringe is going to be shifted means where you are going to put this the transparent sheet, right, towards that particular end of the slit you are going to have the central fringe shifted, C dash. It is going to be shifted by what distance or how many number of fringes it gets shifted. All the formulas also we have written. I think they have given 2 micrometer, wavelength also they have given. So for this, what is the relation we have written is, once again I will mention the relation, T into n minus 1 equals to, n is what? Refractive index of the medium they have given, right? If, okay, not to avoid confusion, I will take this one as refractive index as some mu. Why? Because n, that word I am going to use for number of fringes shifted, will be equals to n lambda. See, this is the formula which we have written earlier. T into mu minus 1 equals to n lambda. This one we have derived already. Extra path, mu d is the, mu into t is the optical path of this medium when the light is propagating through this. You have studied what do you mean by optical path already, right? That's why straight away I am taking this. T into mu minus 1, it will be equals to what? N lambda. Solve for n, number of fringes got shifted is T into mu minus 1 divided by lambda. They are asking for T only, right? By how many number of fringes? Substitute for all the values here. T is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into refractive index is how much? 1.5 minus 1 divided by, what is the value of lambda? 500 into 10 power minus 9. This is 500 into 10 to the power of minus 9. Calculate how much you will get here. 2 zeros means it will become minus 7. Minus 7, if it goes numerator, it will become what? It will become plus 1. 20 it will become. So finally it is 20 into number of fringes, n it will be equals to, sorry, here again 5 we are having, right? 20 by 5 into 1.5 minus 1 is what? 0.5. 0.5. How much will get? 1 by 2. 10 by 5. 2 will get. Number of fringes got shifted is 2. You calculate the value, you will get the value of n as 2 there. Answer is, problem number how much it is? 13. 13th problem they are given third option. Third option means shifts upward by nearly 2 fringes. The value of n it will be equals to what? 2. Calculating this value got the n as 2. Means central fringe got shifted by how many number of fringes here? N equals to 2. That's what which you have to remember with. Just make a note of this relation. This is very important. How much distance it got shifted means number of fringes you are aware, right? How many number of fringes it got, what is the distance it got shifted means number of fringes into fringe width. Fringe width is what? Each fringe. How many number of fringes? N fringes, means n times of lambda capital D by small d. That itself is what? Lateral shift of the central fringe, we will say. That relation also you just remember. Okay. So next, go for 14th problem now. I hope you got this point. Go with the 14th problem. What they are given there? When a mica plate of thickness, same, I think same model problem it is. Cross-check the thickness of the plate, one of the interfering beams. The central fringe is displaced by a distance equal to 10 fringes. Number of fringes got displaced are how many they are given? 10. If the wavelength of light is 6000, then the refractive index of the mica is, same formula which we have made use. What is that? What is the relation we have written? Number of fringes shifted and the thickness also they have given, right? T into mu minus 1, it should be equals to what? N lambda. They are in this problem, they are asking for what? Refractive index is how much they are asking. How to solve for it? Tell me. Mu minus 1, it will be equals to n lambda by t, or the value of mu equals to n lambda by t plus 1. Calculate the value. N number of fringes got shifted are 10 into wavelength of light used is how much? Wavelength is 6000, means 6 into 10 to the power of minus 7 divided by thickness of the sheet is 0.1 mm, means 10 to the power of minus 4 I can take directly in terms of meters. So how much you will get? Can you tell me now? 10 power minus 4 means it goes to numerator. Solve for it. And how much? Plus 1 you are having, right? This is plus 1. Just tell me the value how much you will get. Minus 4 means it goes to numerator, it will become plus 3. Sorry, minus 3. This is one more is there, right? 60 into 10 to the power of minus 3 plus 1. It is nothing but 0.6 plus 1, or it is 1.6. This is the refractive index of that mica sheet what they have given. So these are all the problems related to interference. Now I just want you to have some problems on polarization. We'll have a small discussion on it. Polarization problems. See, diffraction problems I have not included on that, only on linear width of central maxima and angular width of central maxima problems you are going to get. I have included more of the questions from theoretical questions you are going to get from diffraction. That's why in level 1 sheet which I am going to give, there I am going to include them. So nothing to bother. As of now, we'll move on to polarization. So that is problem number 16 you put there. 16th problem, just go through with that. 16th problem. See, the angle of incidence at which reflected light is totally polarized for a ray traveling from air to glass is how much they are asking. Angle of incidence at which reflected light is totally polarized. We have studied Brevister's law. What is that? When a light ray is going to be incidented on a refracting surface, not reflecting, on a refracting surface, a part of the light undergoes reflection and a part of the light undergoes refraction, we have studied. If the reflected light is completely plane polarized, see, this is what the incident light which is unpolarized, both the dot and arrow components will be having like this. Then if the reflected light is completely plane polarized, for example, means what, only dot or only arrow components if you are going to have, this is a refracted light, then this angle of incidence for which it is going to happen itself is what? Brevister's angle we used to say. And refractive index of this refracting surface mu, it will be equals to tan theta p we have written. What is this? Angle of polarization. This is the angle of incidence for which reflected light is completely polarized. This is what? Tan theta p. So then they have given what? Theta. They are asking to find out what exactly? Angle of incidence at which reflected light is totally polarized, means what? Theta p only they are asking to find. Theta p, it will be equals to tan inverse of mu. Mu means n they have given here. Tan theta p, it will be theta p equals to what? Tan inverse of n. Simple problem. Next, go on to 17th problem here. Problem number 17. So here what they are given? So everyone needs to have your worksheet in your hand by the time when teachers are discussing these numerical sheets, right? And you have to make a note of all the points what the teachers are given there. So the amplitude of polarized light transmitted through the polarizer is A. Through the polarizer, whatever the light coming out is what? A. The amplitude of unpolarized light incidented on it is, now we have in the concept of polarization when it comes, right, this is that just like a crystal, polarizer or analyzer are both the purpose of they are going to be same. For example, if I am going to incident some light here whose intensity is I naught, amplitude is A naught, these are what? Unpolarized light, means what? It's supposed to have both dot as well as arrow components will be having. We have studied that part already. Whenever you are going to incident this on a polarizer, what it is going to happen? It is going to eliminate half the portion of the light, or like only either dot components will be there or arrow components will be there. Which components will be there means the particles whose vibration is parallel to the transmission axis. The particles whose vibrations are parallel to the transmission axis are going to be allowed and perpendicular to the transmission axis are going to be eliminated. So finally the intensity of the light which is going to be, this is a polarized light now, it is having an intensity, it will be equal to how much now? I naught by 2. If intensity is I naught by 2, amplitude will be equal to how much you will get? A naught by root 2. This we have already studied. A naught by root 2. What they are given here? Amplitude of unpolarized light on it is, A naught is incidented, right? This is polarized light. Then AP, they are asking unpolarized light, it will be equal to how much now? Polarized light into root 2. This is the answer. A naught root 2A. Means that AP value they are given it as what? A here. This is polarized light is A. A naught by root 2 is what? A. Then A naught value will be equals to what? A root 2. That symbol they have taken it as A. Just make a note. Next, 18th problem, important model for NEET. They are going to ask with See, in this entire chapter of physical optics, problems on interference is one thing, most important thing. Apart from that, polarization problems based on Malus law, or at the end we will see like based on this, how the intensities you are going to have, intensity of the polarized light or unpolarized light after passing through number of polarites. Malus law application we have studied. If a number of polarites are going to be placed with the transmission axis making angle theta 1, theta 2 and so on with the one another, then how the final resultant intensity beam we are going, intensity of the resultant after passing through all the polarites, what is the value, so and so things we have studied. So kind of problems are important. One of that kind is this 18th problem, just go through that now. A Polaroid examines two adjacent planes. So what they are given? Two adjacent plane polarized beams A and B, whose planes of polarization are mutually perpendicular. A and B are what? Mutually perpendicular. A Polaroid examines two adjacent plane polarized beams A and B, whose planes of polarization are mutually perpendicular. In the first position of the analyzer, beam B shows 0 intensity. From this position, a rotation of 30 degrees shows that two beams have the same intensity. Then the ratio of intensities of two beams IA and IB, it will be equals to how much they are saying. See, initially what they are saying, what they are saying, planes of when they are perpendicular, in the first position of the analyzer, right, beam B shows 0 intensity means what? It shows 0 intensity when both of them are perpendicular to each other. This is IA and IB. If both are perpendicular, right, so then the intensity will be equals to how much? 0. You know how, why? Because we have one formula when writing for two polarites, right, intensity after passing through another polarite, it will be equals to I equals to I naught by 2 into cos square theta, one formula we have studied. Okay, so Malus law statement related to that we have written, if I naught is the unpolarized light, I naught cos square by 2. If I naught is polarized light, then after passing through number of polarites, what is the intensity means? I naught cos square theta you are going to have. See, they are telling that now in the final position, from this position, a rotation of 30 degrees shows that two beams have same intensity. Rotation from 30 degrees means how much it is, tell me? From here they are going to rotate this by 30 degrees like this, let me say, right? This is IA, and then this angle it will be equal to how much? If it is 30, now this angle will be equal to how much now? 60. So then how much you will get now? They are saying that the intensities of them will be same, means what? IA cos square 30 degree will be equals to what? IB into cos square 60. So from this I can write like IA by IB will be equals to cos square 60 divided by cos square 30. Find the values what they are. Cos square 60 means 1 by 4 divided by cos square 30 is what? 3 by 4, or 1:3 will get there. Answer is 1:3. IA by IB equals to 1:3. Likewise you have to solve for it. Next, 19th problem. Problem number 19. Just see with this 19. Unpolarized light of intensity 32 watt per meter square passes through three polarizers. Unpolarized light is 32, they have given intensity, passes through three polarizers such that the transmission axis of the last polarizer is crossed with the first. If the intensity of the emerging light is 3 watt per meter square, then the angle between the axis of first two polarizers is, now this problem if you analyze, there is one polarizer first, let me say this is A, okay now. How many polarizers we are having here? 3. Intensity of unpolarized light incidented here, how much it is on the first one? I naught equals to 32 watt per meter square, they have given. It's not visible. It is not visible. I naught equals to what? 32 watt per meter square they have given. This is the light incidented, unpolarized light, keep this point in mind. Unpolarized light of I naught. How many polarites we are having? Three polarizers we are having. They are saying that such that the transmission axis of the last polarizer is crossed with the first. Crossed means perpendicular, we have discussed. This is some C, third one. Crossed means the first one and the third one are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so this is the third polaroid, transmission axis of the third polaroid, and this is the first one. Now question is, if the intensity of the emerging light is 3 watt per meter square, what is the intensity coming out of C here now? 3 watt per meter square they are saying. Intensity from C is how much here? 3 watt per meter square. Then the angle between the axis of first two polarizers is, means somewhere here it is going to be making an angle theta, let me say. This is the B, I am going to say, take out the question mark. B is intensity, this second polarizer, let me say, I am going to say this is making an angle theta with the first one. If this is transmission axis of the first one, right, it is making an angle how much? Theta with the second one. Then how obviously this angle it will be with C, what is it is going to be making, can you tell me now? 90 minus theta. It will make an angle how much it is? 90 minus theta. They are asking to find the value of theta here how much. Okay. So now if you observe, after passing through the first polaroid, what is the value of intensity you are going to get? See, this is the only value, only polarizer you are having. Any direction you are going to place the first polarizer. Intensity coming out of the first polarizer is half of the intensity of unpolarized light. That's why IA value here it will be equals to how much it is now? 32 by 2. That is how much? 16 watt per meter square. This is intensity after with this is what the intensity coming out of what? First polarizer. Now what is the intensity coming out of the second polarizer IB? You know IB, again it won't become half here. Why? Because this is already polarized. Now light which is incidented on B is polarized light. Keep this point in mind. Its IA is not unpolarized. It is already polarized by what? A. When polarized light is going to be incidented, then IB it will be equals to IA into cos square theta. IA means how much we are having? 16. That's why I am going to write it as 16 cos square theta. Okay, now this is what the value of IB. Now, when IB is going to be incidented on this third pole, right? So what is the angle between B and C now? 90 minus theta. Okay. So now what is the value of, how to write the formula for IC here now using Malasla, tell me? IC it will be equals to, this is IB into cos square of 90 minus theta. IC it will be equals to what? IB is incidented on C, that's why after passing through IC, what is the value? IB into cos square 90 minus theta. Cos 90 minus theta is what? Cos 90 minus theta is cos 90 minus sin theta, right? Sin square theta you are having. IB is what? Sorry, IB value already you are having how much it is? IB value is what? 16 cos square theta. So that's why I am going to write this one as cos 90 minus theta. First quadrant, right? This is 16 cos square theta into, see IB I have substituted here, 16 cos square theta into cos square 90 minus theta. Or this is nothing but what? Sin square theta I can take. Let it be cos square 90 minus theta. That is nothing but sin square theta. I will write here itself. Sin square theta. But they are given what is the value of IC here. Already they are given IC value is what? 3. If you substitute, implies 3 equals to 16 cos theta into sin theta whole square. Okay, some mathematical calculations you have to do it to find out the value of it. I can write this one as some sin 2 theta. Sin 2 theta is what? 2 sin theta cos theta. For that, these changes I will make. See here now, 3 equals to 8 into 2 into sin theta into cos theta whole square. Can we write like this? I think some parameter we are missing. This is 3 here now. Okay, fine. This 2 sin theta cos theta is nothing but what? Sin 2 theta. So this one 3 by 8 it will be equals to how much now? Sin 2 theta whole square Sine 2 theta whole square, or else we'll do one thing otherwise. Take the root on both sides, what you'll get now? Let me take here itself the root for it. 3 by 16 equals to what? Sin theta into cos theta whole square you are having. Okay, now, if you take the root on both sides, you'll get root 3 by 4 equals to sin theta into cos theta. Here I will take this 2 out there, then you will get root 3 by 2 equals to 2 sin theta into cos theta. 2 sin theta cos theta is what? Sin 2 theta. So then root 3 by 2 equals to sin 2 theta. Sin 2 theta value is root 3 by 2 means what is the value of 2 theta now? 2 theta it will be equals to what? For which angle sin theta is root 3 by 2 means 60 degree. Then the value of theta it will be equals to what? 30 degree is the answer which you have to solve for it. See once again learn the method how we have to solve with that. This kind of problems are very important, especially for NEET as well as for JEE. They are going to ask in much more complicated way. There is some calculation for trigonometry, you need to have it, and how to write for these equations is more essential, right? What a few times they will give all the angles, finally what is the intensity they will ask. I hope you have those problems also here, we will cross check them also. So now I hope you got this. This is of problem number 19. 19th problem it is. Next, 20th problem. 20th problem. So axis of polarizer and analyzer are inclined to each other at how much? 60 degree. If the amplitude of the polarized light emerged through the analyzer is A, then the amplitude of unpolarized light incidented on the polarizer is. So what they are given is, axis of the polarizer and analyzer are inclined at what angle? 60 degree they are saying. If the amplitude of polarized light emerging through the analyzer is what they are given is A. Okay, so now if you see here, this is problem number 20. 20th problem is what? This is the angle theta, they have given it as what? 60. What is unpolarized light incidented? Axis of polarizer and 60 they are given. Amplitude of the polarized light emerging through the analyzer is A. Through the analyzer, this is polarizer and this is analyzer. If I take this value is A, they are saying, and I will say unpolarized light is some A0. They are asking to find out A0 only, amplitude of unpolarized light incidented is how much they are asking. If it is A0, then here it is how much? A0 by root 2 you know. If it is I0, I0 by 2. Why? Because intensity is directly proportional to square of amplitude. Okay. So if it is I0 by 2 here, then amplitude is root of that value. That means what? A by root 2 you are going to get here. You got the point? So that's why as I is proportional to A square, right? A0 by root 2 you are going to get here. After passing through this one, then this will become how much now? A, it will become A0 by root 2 into cos theta. If it is intensity, what we have written? I0 by 2 into cos square theta we have written. Amplitude means root of that value. Root of I intensity you have to take here. That's why it is A0 by root 2 into cos theta. Then A0 it will be equals to A root 2 divided by cos theta, they have given it as how much? 60. What is the value of cos 60? 1 by 2. So that's why 2 root 2A you will get the answer as. Answer is how much here? 2 root 2A. Fourth option you will get. So therefore the value of A0 it will be equals to 2 root 2 into A. This is the answer. Okay. Anyway, 20 problems we have done with for the day today. Remaining we will see in polarization, few more to be taught, and the next homework sheet we are having. One more is like next level 2 problems we are having, level 3 actually that. Those problems we will see, supposed to discuss them in the next session. I hope you can solve these. Homework problem is you try out on these models which we have done with for today. So I will wind up the session for today. Remaining things in the coming session I am going to discuss. Thank you.